Representatives has set for itself and lived up to its name of the People's House. And we are very delighted, particularly from us in the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC, to have this work relationship with the National Assembly to support the work the National Assembly is doing on various areas and various issues, particularly constitutional electoral reform, but also working with the different committees of the National Assembly to support their ability to deliver on several of the issues that they have outlined. The National Assembly was the first in the House of Representatives was the first in the National Assembly to start with creating a legislative agenda for itself. And in the 10th National Assembly, it clearly set out different issues covering over 8 areas that it intends to help to deliver on good governance. One of those areas is that of engagement with citizens and opening up the process of lawmaking to civic engagement, to engagement with citizens, and this is evident from what the House of Representatives has done over the last 2 days, including today. The House of Representatives has also very strongly stated its commitment to the passage of the Special Seats Bill. And I'm delighted that the leader of the House, who is representing the Speaker here this morning, was part of a National Assembly delegation that recently went to Kenya to see how women are very well represented in their legislative process. And for all of us, it's important that this was the case, and I think it's so very helpful that the House of Representatives, the Speaker himself, the Speaker's wife, the Deputy Speaker, and the leadership of the National Assembly have very clearly stated their commitments to the passage of the Special Seats Bill. And anyone who has read the Special Seats Bill will clearly understand that it does not take to dilute, it doesn't seek to take any seat away from anybody. The 360 seats remain. What is being sought to be created in the Special Seats Bill is additional seats that will increase women representation, either by the fact that these new seats are added or by their ability to contest with men in the existing 360 seats. So no seat is being taken away from any man. It's really that, as the Minority Leader, Right Honorable Kingsley Chinda mentioned, it is of course very embarrassing to go to meetings internationally where Nigeria's votes are reduced simply because there are not enough women in those meetings, or Nigeria is actually disrespected because of the low level of women representation. And when the representative of the Minister of Women Affairs talked about equity in our democracy, it means really that we must make our democracy equitable. We must ensure that for all of us who are supporting the legislature, whether at the state or national level, that we do our best to ensure that the Special Seats Bill is taken very seriously. It is not a matter of faith or religion that you exclude women. I do not think that any religion excludes any particular gender from participation in governance. I do not think that you can find support in religion to carry out inequitable practices, which is where we are today is. And if we are to see more women represented, it will take the commitment of everyone who is in this room and everyone who is in the National Assembly to support this to happen. So on behalf of the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, I want to say that we are working very strongly with all of our partners, and I'm happy that the Minister of Women Affairs has shown very great support, very good lead on this subject. That's a very important direction for the Honorable Minister in terms of bringing in the executive, and I'm sure that our colleague here, Right Honorable Kafila Togbara, who is representing the First Lady, is also doing a lot of work with getting support from the First Lady and all of those who are in the executive. So I'd like to say thank you so very much, but also really to latch on to what Honorable Chinda mentioned, the support that we have received from our development partners. The UK High Commissioner is well represented here. That support has come from the British High Commission, the FCDO, but also I see Ruben here from the European Union to say thank you so much for all of the support that the EU has given. The Ambassador of Belgium is here with us. It's delightful to see you here in this conversation, and the hope is that all of this support will crystallize at the end of the day in the passage of the Special Seats Bill. For the 10th National Assembly, it will be the most important bill you have ever passed in this country if the Special Seats Bill passes. Please, or let me say when the Special Seats Bill passes. So please, this is really important for all of us, men and women, who are working with the National Assembly, that this passes. Thank you so very much.
Nigeria's democratic journey. And I would like to begin by commending the Speaker of the House of Representatives and his leadership team for their vision in convening this important event and for his steadfast championing of the Special Seats Bill. As your partner, we see the initiative to pass this bill as a landmark proposal that speaks to the heart of democratic inclusion and national progress in Nigeria. This initiative, has been so eloquently described before, is not just about legislation. It's about the future of representation in Nigeria. It's about ensuring the voices of Nigeria's women are actively shaping the decisions that affect every aspect of national life. And the evidence from across the world shows that this is a role that has huge potential for Nigeria's development. Women's political participation has profound positive impacts on communities, on legislators, on political parties, and of course on citizens' lives. It helps democracy deliver. When women are empowered as political leaders, countries experience higher standards of living, better education, infrastructure, and better health outcomes. By creating space for women in the National Assembly and legislative houses across this country, the Special Seats Bill opens the door to a more representative and dynamic democracy. So, Mr. Speaker, there could be nothing more symbolic about this than the fact that we are having this conversation during the open week of the House of Representatives, an initiative that deeply reflects the very essence of inclusive and transparent democratic practice. So the timing of today's event is also apt, as public hearings on the constitutional amendment process of the 10th National Assembly takes place across the country this month. And as your partner, we recognise that this is not a journey that ends with legislation, and through our partnership with the National Assembly, civil society and other stakeholders, we will continue to provide the technical assistance, share lessons from our own experience, and support the voices of Nigerians on this issue whenever we are invited to do so. So let me close by congratulating the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and the leadership of the House for their courage and foresight in prioritising legislation in this area from the very start of the 10th House of Representatives, as reflected in your legislative agenda. We also acknowledge, and this is super important to me, the tireless efforts of the Nigerian women, activists, legislators, community organisers, religious and cultural leaders, everyone who has worked for years to bring this issue to the forefront of national discourse and action. I am so humbled to be here with you on this. So democracy thrives when it reflects the diversity of people it serves. And we've heard many speakers admirably show this. The Special Seats Bill is about Nigeria continuing to progress its democracy for the benefit not just of women, of course, but all its citizens. So thank you once again for inviting us to be part of this significant moment in Nigeria's democratic and legislative process. And I wish you all the best in your deliberations and the rest of Open Week. So thank you.